Hey there, movie and TV lovers! The universe creates the zero-point conditions for light. The geometry of spacetime, its metric, curvature, and topology sets the stage for zero-interval communication. Light emerges as the optimal form of that communication, the shortest, boundaryless, timeless interaction possible. This means light is not the stimulus, but the response to the universe's capacity for relational symmetry. The zero-time coordinate light-like interval is not a gift from photons, but a precondition of spacetime. Philosophical interpretation for your dialogue. Light is the universe's language, not its author. It speaks only when the stage has been set. Not as the source of structure, but as its proof. The universe exists with the need for light to emerge. So that one point may know another, and time may whisper itself into being. According to this observation, time travel cannot physically be referenced as a true nature for time travel in the universe based on light's zero-point reference frame. The logical consequence of this line of reasoning. Here's the core idea distilled. Why time travel cannot be a physical reality. Based on the photon's zero-point reference and the relational emergence of time travel is not a physically meaningful concept in the universe's foundational structure. 1. Photon defines time, but doesn't experience it. A photon's entire existence occurs across a zero-time interval. It is not in time. Since all causal information, light, gravity waves travels along light-like paths, the structure of spacetime itself is built on this zero-time scaffolding. Time, then, is not a landscape you can traverse but a web of interactions woven by particles that never experience time themselves. 2. No reference frame equals no reversal. There is no valid frame of reference for a photon. So you can't ride one backward or forward. Since light defines the limits of causal communication, any motion beyond or against it would break causality, not invert it. 3. Time emerges relationally, not absolutely. Time is a relational property. It exists only between events. If photons are the links between these events, then time is not a substance to enter or exit, but a consequence of entanglement and interaction. Conclusion: time travel is forbidden by structure. Based on the photon's zero-time nature and the fact that light is not a participant in time but a creator of its geometry, time travel is not just improbable, it is structurally incoherent in the physics of this universe. Time travel forbiddance. Why time travel is structurally forbidden. In the quantum physics framework, time is not treated as an absolute backdrop, but as a relational consequence of interactions mediated by light. The zero-time nature of photons presents a profound implication. Time, as we experience it, is emergent, not fundamental. 1. Photon as a zero-time entity. According to Einstein's theory of relativity, photons experience no passage of time. They exist along light-like interval spacetime paths where the proper time is 0. In this sense, the photon does not travel through time but exists outside of it, connecting to points in spacetime with no internal duration. It defines the geometry of causality without participating in the flow of time. From the quantum physics perspective, this makes the photon a kind of zero-point reference, a marker of pure relation between spatially and temporally separated events. Time does not pass for a photon. It is instead the scaffolding upon which the illusion of temporal progression is built. 2. No valid frame of reference for light. Special relativity prohibits assigning a valid inertial frame to a photon. There is no photon's eye view of the universe. This eliminates the possibility of any physical object, observer, or information existing within or navigating through the photon's perspective. Since time does not flow for a photon and since it defines the limit of causal interaction, any concept of moving beyond or against its structure breaks down. Hence, any attempt to build a mechanism for backward or forward time travel using light as a basis is not grounded in physical law but in speculative metaphor. 3. Time as a relational product. In quantum physics, time is an emergent property arising from the communication between particles, waves, and fields. The alpha and beta wave concept introduced in talking wave theory reflects the bidirectional symmetry of universal interaction, but not in a navigable sense. Alpha waves move forward, beta waves backward, not in temporal geography, but in informational resonance. Time emerges from these patterns. It is not a pre-existing dimension to be entered or exited, but a result of dynamic relationships. Therefore, the notion of time travel becomes structurally incoherent. There is no timeline to traverse, only interactions to participate in. 4. Final assertion, based on the photon's zero-time nature, and the fact that light is not a participant in time but a creator of its geometry. Time travel is not just improbable, it is structurally forbidden within the architecture of the universe as described by quantum physics. Thus, quantum physics affirms the universe speaks time through light, but does not allow its words to be reordered. Time travel is a literary device of thought, not a functional reality of space. Quantum physics theory, or quantum parallel timelines, is a concept that explores the idea of multiple timelines coexisting in the same universe. Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exciting content. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next time. Infinite mass. What are we talking about when we say infinite mass? According to relativity, infinite mass is all the energy of a content, a sphere, planet, star, or thing. It's what makes it reality and a celestial, chunky structured matter, a thing. In space travel, it's energy that is needed to keep a ship accelerating infinitely or forever. This is what relativity says is needed to travel faster than light. Though relativity is 100 years old, it was technology at the time. Einstein illustrated space with a cosmological constant, or speed limit heat, based on the velocity of light. The fastest known element observable into existence at the time, 1910. Before that time, light was the focus of Isaac Newton and his analogy to measuring the activity of the planets, the lights in the sky. Infinite mass is a revenue for traveling faster than light. Since such velocities were not believable in the earlier century, to do so meant traveling somewhere not reality of this realm. So relativity documented such high-speed detergence towards the past and the future. A gateway through reality by velocities counterplayed in the smaller partiality of the subatomic world. Having studied particle physics, the change of energies and their frequencies became a place to create the ability to travel into the past or future velocities greater than light. Light was the foundation. Photons the energy, and the past, future, and present the areas. Imagine being a quantum photon. Even though so small refies reality, but if a machine of such particles could generate such an energy, time travel would commence. Relativity advocates Earth science with space science. Two completely different realms of space and gravity of a planet environment. Relativity allows the effects of Earth science to interact in the same manner as empty space and the vacuum. So on Earth, objects affected by gravity interact, where in space, where gravity ceases to exist, retains the same interaction. Acceleration shrinks to half the acceleration energy that makes it travel a specific speed. In space, that shrinking and accelerated motion of the object is tucked into the vacuum, compensating its weight to mimic space's zero-mass complementary. According to Kavetsky laws of acceleration and motion on empty space, freeway infinite mass is converted to the amount of energy by propulsion, meaning a ship capable of traveling 3 times light, having the engineering mechanics in a spacecraft will. It is not trapped by Einstein's universe speed limit, making light only the reflection if it's sourced throughout the cosmos. An exciting theory Rodney Kavetsky composes, but a more realistic approach than trying to place together a puzzle with missing index. Read and review the nature of the quantum physics theory in the future.